Welcome to Experience Shared, your gaming book club. Sera, that's me, Blythe, Kanny, and Rook agree on a game, play it, get together, and talk about it. You can join the book club too by joining the Discord, bit.ly/EXP Disco. And your opinion, review, or recommendation might make it into the podcast. With that out of the way, let's get on with sharing. Hello everybody and welcome to Experience Share. You already know what you're watching because of the intro or whatever. Today we're talking about two games. It's a two-game special because Mabel picked a game that we didn't play very much of because, well, you'll find out. And then a second game that wasn't played very long because it is a very incredibly short game and there's not going to be a ton to say on it. So I wanted to make sure that the podcast stayed around an hour long or close to an hour long. So, Mabel, what is the first game we're talking about?
Gauntlet.
Gauntlet Dark Legacy?
Dark Legacy.
We played Gauntlet Dark Legacy on GameCube. All four of us played it together. We played it for a live stream, and it got a little heated. It got a little aggressive. It is supposed to be a cooperative game that we all play together, a la Diablo, where it's top down and we're going around and we're beating up bad guys trying to get to the end of the stage. So just who wants to give opinions first?
Can't be me.
Well, you gotta tell the story of the game. So what's the story of the game?
Like the actual story of the game?
Oh, do you not know the story of your favorite game of all time?
I mean, it's really simple.
Okay.
It's like, I forget the names, because they're fantasy gobbledygook names, but basically, Wizard Man of Tower sealed away Big Evil Man.
As one does.
And Big Wizard Tower Man.
You could just look up the names online.
We don't need to look up the names, it's fine. No, I don't think anyone's gonna care enough.
Big Wizard Man celebrated all through countrywide.
Mm-hmm.
The world loved him for sealing away Evil Man. However, Big Wizard Man have Tiny Wizard Brother. And Tiny Wizard Brother hates Big Wizard Brother.
This sounds like the plot of Wizards 101.
Hates Big Wizard Brother because Big Wizard Brother very famous and very loved. But he kind of shitty. Little Wizard Brother kind of shitty. That's
shitty
why
how?
he ain't.
Shitty like bad person or shitty like powers?
Yeah, he's
fucked his wife?
He's kind of just evil, I think.
Just general evil. He didn't like fuck his wife or
he's
anything.
He's not
just like
good.
a genuine bastard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you'll see here in a second. While Big Wizard Brother away, Little Evil Wizard Brother take the power tablets that sealed away Big Evil, and he sticks them together and summons Big Evil to get more power. Funny thing is though, Little Evil Wizard Brother doesn't know the full the full spell to keep Big Evil in check, so Big Evil escape and kill Little Brother. And Big Wizard Brother have to come back and use the rest of his power to help keep Big Evil in check, but basically is too weak to go and get the rest of the tablets back to seal away the evil. And that's where we come in.
Would you say that the story is just bare minimum serviceable to get you playing?
Yes, because it's originally an arcade game.
Yeah, and arcade games are known for their very short story, just the bare minimum enough to get you to... Just something that plays idles on the screen while they wait for you to put your quarters in.
Yeah. The tablets are all spread out through the generals that the Big Evil gives, and that's what we're there for, is to get the tablets back so we can seal away Big Evil. Again, fantasy gobbledygook's name, I don't remember, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So this game has actually got a small cult following to it. I looked it up after the fact, and I know some people who have recently played Gauntlet Dark Legacy and put screenshots up and stuff like that from when they played. And it's basically a top-down arcade shooter/combat game where you're action RPG kind of thing. Brawler, where you're going through the stages, slaying the baddies, and then getting experience points, leveling up, spending the points, buying equipment and junk, and you're just getting power-ups and stuff like that. It's your very standard arcade action RPG game, like something like the X-Men 4-player one or the TMNT arcade games. But it's top-down, and you have shooting mechanics involved because your attacks all characters have ranged abilities. Even melee characters have ranged abilities, which is pretty cool. So, like, none of the...
I'm just gonna sneeze. That's all.
Okay. So,
There we go.
none of the characters really, like, your melee character is defined on their ability to do a lot of damage in close range, but also, they have specific stat blocks and stuff like that each of the characters have different ones that they're good at, but I would say that none of them are excelling where others fail. I don't think by picking a melee character you're screwing yourself over by not being able to cast magic or being able to use ranged attacks, because you can just throw your melee weapon still.
It's very forgiving. It's just the difference in characters is the little starting stat and what their special abilities do and how they do link up special abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like an ultimate ability that they activate.
And the combos.
Stuff. And combo attacks.
But yeah, if you've ever played a 4-player action RPG that's top-down like Diablo, it's very similar to that. It's just way less involved than Diablo. It's way more simplified than Diablo. But it's also very old. And as many of the games we play, it's very old. It's got some issues that come with age and come with it being an arcade game. The biggest issue that I had with it was that the maps are... just because the game is 4-player doesn't mean that you should play it 4-player, because the maps are very small and cluttered, and you cannot walk through your teammates. You are frequently getting in each other's way, and that is something that led to a lot of fights. A lot of fights were just like, hey, dumb shit, how about you fucking move? Or, hey, Sera, you make a better wall than a window. Or, hey, Sera, can you please just get the fuck out of the way? And that's what a lot of it was, is that a lot of it is just because each character is a full physical object, they cannot be walked through. So you have to move out of the way, and you constantly have to be aware of where you are, and it's keeping... The maps are way too small, the screen is too small. It is a 4-player game, but it is not built for 4 players.
The items aren't shared either, and so, like, picking up, like, gold and stuff to get upgrades... Only one person can grab the gold, so only one person gets the upgrades if someone's grabbing all the gold item. And because you're constantly getting in the way of each other, there's always going to be someone left out, essentially.
Yeah.
Can you back up from your mic a little bit, Connie? There.
Let me sit back.
Yeah, right there. When you lean in, it gets a little funky.
Okay.
But yeah, we can hear you fine from there.
Okay.
So yeah, nothing is shared. It's like when you play Borderlands on co-op competitive, where first come first serve to everything. It's if you want a similar experience without like the bumping into each other and being in each other's way, you could play Castle Crashers. But yeah, that's the biggest issue I had with it, was just that you can't walk through your teammates, and the maps are way too small to not allow people to walk through each other.
The abilities are very flashy too, and there's a lot of times where we're just casting spells or some shit, and I'm losing track of where the fuck I'm at.
Oh yeah, it's very easy to lose track of your character. A lot of things just come down to spamming and just trying to hit anything you can. We were even very careful to choose different colors from each other, different looking characters from each other. There was very low risk chance of us confusing each other's characters, but still we get lost on the stage trying to figure out where the hell we are and what we're trying to do. Rook, do you have anything to say about it?
I did not grow up playing arcade games. I've barely even stepped foot in an arcade. That wasn't, Chuck E. Cheese.
Arcades were on their way out when we were growing up.
Yeah.
And that definitely means that Mabel and Connie have definitely not experienced an arcade setting.
Like outside of like Chuck E.
That's
Cheese
about-
or Dave
that's
and
about
Buster's and all that.
Chuck E. Cheese is hardly an arcade thing. I
It's
think I've only
child
encountered
gambling
one-
is what Chuck E. Cheese is.
Yeah, I've only played one arcade game in a Chuck E. Cheese that wasn't child gambling, and that was this thing that it was like House of the Dead, but you played it with scepters and you were blasting mummies.
Yeah,
It's cool.
I saw.
It's fun.
I've never heard of that. That's cool.
I've seen a lot of games at like Chuck E. Cheese or Dave and Buster's where it's like, ooh, shoot, stuff like that. But I was never, I didn't grow up around arcades, or if I did, I wasn't interested, and my mom
The only
probably
arcade
couldn't take me anyway. So
that I've ever been to is the one that I took you to a date on. Do you remember that one? Do you remember what it was called?
It started with an R, I think.
She doesn't remember our first date. Craig's Cruisers.
Craig's Cruisers, that's right.
They had mini golf. They had laser tag. They had go-karts.
But we did mini golf. We didn't do the arcade.
We played in the arcade for a little bit. We realized that it was all child gambling, and then we were like, oh, they don't have any actual arcade games here. So we played like 5 rounds of Guitar Hero, and then we found the nearest kid and gave him our token cards.
Yeah.
So he was probably pretty hyped.
Awesome, sweet buddy.
I think it was like $5 left on it, to be honest, though.
Yeah, we got
Hey.
our fill of Guitar Hero, and that was enough.
Hey, $5 is a lot for a kid. I'm gonna be
Then
honest.
Yeah.
there was that barcade that we went to in the state over. That one also
arcades,
has actual arcade games,
Yes.
but it was mostly pinball, which is just adult gambling.
That reminds me of that one guy. He went.
Back up, Connie.
Sorry.
However, I did actually end up going to a regular arcade. And when in Myrtle Beach, like I said, there was a gambling center in, not gambling center, fun center, gambling center. I heard kid gambling and thought of that. But, it's because there was a fun center that had a bunch of, like, token winning, arcade machines, but they also had, like, monkey ball and, like, racing games. I didn't really play all that much when I got older. However, there was a arcade on a board near a boardwalk in Myrtle Beach that had a bunch of games, and one of them was, I think, Time Crisis.
That was one of the my first experiences with an arcade game was two was in the Gay Dolphin Arcade. Gay Dolphin Arcade had a lot of stuff, and I played mostly DDR.
Is that the
That's where
actual
I
name?
went to. The gay.
We
gay
went to
dolphin.
the same arcade, and we
Yeah.
never ran into each other.
The gay
Sooner.
dolphin?
Yeah, it's called the Gay Dolphin. Seriously. It's old. It's old. So it's back when gay meant happy and not slay.
Not-
It's like a
Limperist.
concrete building. Like, it's a full concrete building. Like, it's not super flashy or anything like that. It's straight up just like concrete.
Yeah,
and arcade
it's been there
machines.
forever.
That's weird. You figure, an arcade would have big neon lights or something. That's what I imagine when I think arcade.
The inside is really pretty, and it's just, they have some of the coolest prizes, too. This was one of those arcades where you could go in, win tickets, and a child could come out with a katana.
Oh, shit. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I remember getting some shuriken there.
Oh, no. Mall steal.
I never really had arcades where I was at. A lot of my experience with most arcade games came from pizza parlors and stuff like that had them in the front. I don't know if that was a thing. That's a thing around here or anywhere else. But they'd have an arcade section, and then they have the pizza, and then a dining
like
section.
at the laundromat.
Yeah, like a laundromat, arcade
Yeah, that's most
game
people's
kinda.
arcade experiences is playing the 50-in-1 machines from Namco
But
at a laundromat.
they always had the game, the racing games, or the what's that? Those things called the jet ski games, where you ride a jet ski.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of it.
And then they had House of the Dead and stuff like that. And I did play House of the Dead a couple times.
There was another arcade that I went to where it was like House of the Dead, but we had katana hands, the what was it? The hand guards, and you would swing and slice with the katana hilt, and then when it was time to move forward, you would tap the foot pedal in front of you, and your character would move forward, and you would go wah, 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 at zombies.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I've seen some weird stuff.
That's a weird light gun game. That's so weird.
It was crazy though. I loved it.
I just checked. The Gay Dolphin arcade is still open.
It's been around for a while. I'm curious if they got some of the more Japanese stuff, because they had Taiko no Tatsujin when I was younger.
There's also apparently a gift shop, so it sells
We might have to
figures.
Move? No, I'm not moving
move
to
it.
any.
Move to Myrtle Beach.
I'm not moving to
be
any
honest.
state with Carolina in its name. Sorry, y'all
yeah,
fucked that up
no.
with a bathroom bill.
Yeah, no, we're good. I'm good. I'd rather stay north. than
Not
go
coming
south.
to a Carolina near
We
you.
could just be like hobos living in the Gay Dolphin or something like that.
All right, let's get back on track because we got way sidetracked. Okay, so most most Americans don't have a lot of experience with arcades because the arcade was on its way out because it was being killed by the home console. People, crazy, rather pay for a game once than pay a billion times with quarters.
You know what's also crazy? With the home console, the fact that what was killing the arcade was the fact that fucking two little bricks smacking another brick together.
Oh, Pong, yeah.
Pong.
Oh, Pong.
Pong,
Yeah, Pong did help scale things away from the arcade, but it really didn't. The arcade really wasn't killed until the NES showed up.
Yeah.
The NES really did a number on arcades, which is weird because in
A lot of
Japan, it's perfectly fine over there.
I think it's because
Well, you know,
Japan is a lot
Closer to the
tighter
companies.
knit and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, you know,
The
different
Sega
countries,
arcade.
different, like, countries,
yeah.
different, what is it?
Although my entire knowledge of Japan and its arcade scene comes from Yakuza.
Yakuza.
So I don't know.
What is it?
Oh, but
Stocks
like
and stuff.
we got screwed over so hard in the U.S. because we never got to experience Mushi King. Mabel doesn't know what Mushi King is. Y'all don't know what Mushi King is.
What?
It's a arcade game that you would go in and you would put your money in, and it would
Are
dispense.
you talking about the Beetle ones?
Yes.
The Beetle one? Yeah. Okay.
It dispenses
I forgot about it.
It dispenses a booster pack for you, and then you open up the booster pack and you get cards with barcodes on them, and you scan them into the machine, and you fight against other bugs in the story mode or against friends, and you would swipe your bug, and they'd have different stats, and then you'd swipe an attack card that was either rock, paper, or scissors. So it was literal rock, paper, scissors, and you
That's
swiped
so
little bug
fucking
cards.
cool.
It's
That's
Beetle.
awesome! What the
It's Beetle
fuck?
fighting.
They had a sequel called Dino King as well, and it was all dinosaurs.
What the fuck? I want
Yeah.
that!
And we never got it because the machines they're not that big. They're smaller than an adult.
They're like
They're made for children. Like they go up to
This big.
the chest.
yeah.
I
But
don't care.
we just
I'll
never
kneel
got
down.
'em. Exactly, they were cool. we just never got them though.
Yeah.
There were flyers made for Western regions, but I don't think they ever came over. I've seen one of the flyers for Dino King.
I think we might have gotten Dino King, but I don't know.
It had an anime that came over here.
But yeah, it's basically it's the thing of beetle fighting, like as a kid, basically, because kids would take beetles and put them on like stumps.
You can
Yeah.
still
and
play
watch
it
them
in
fight.
Yakuza.
That, I mean,
Yeah, you can play the actual thing, the actual beetle fighting in
Yep.
Yakuza. but-
Beetle, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna show my nerd hand here. Beetle fighting is what started Pokemon, because they were like,
Yeah.
we want to do a beetle fighting, but with little monsters, and so they just made Pokemon. And that's how Pokemon got started.
And you can still play Mushi King in Yakuza, but they replace all the bugs with scantily clad women wearing bug helmets.
Oh,
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
a little weird.
All right, but back to the actual game. Keep
Yeah.
getting sidetracked.
Yes. Well, originally Gauntlet started as an Atari game. That's where it got its way, and then eventually was bought out by Midway Arcade.
What's that line? The wizard's hungry or something like that.
Blue. It's whatever the character's color is and their class. So like, blue wizard is hungry. That's what it says.
Green dwarf.
Or no, it's blue wizard needs food now. That's what it says. It'll tell you like little hints too. I forget what it says, but it'll go like shoot nest or whatever and stuff like that.
If you play Gauntlet though, Dark Legacy, I think you should probably play it on the PS2 and with just 2 players. Emulating it on the PS2 was a really big pain. I think we spent the first 30 minutes of the stream trying to figure out how to get the multi-tap to work correctly. The emulated multi-tap to work correctly.
I think it might be a Retrobat thing because I feel like it wasn't that hard to go and play Poi Poi on DuckStation.
And then the GameCube version, it worked fine because the GameCube natively has 4 controller ports.
Yeah.
So if you're playing it with 4 players, play it on the GameCube. If you're playing it with 2 players, which is I think the ideal way, is PlayStation 2.
I think you could play it with comfortably 3 people. I think
3 people comfortably?
I think 4 is the hard limit because
it just gets chaotic.
It gets because it's so close. I don't know why. I don't know if that was because Gauntlet Dark Legacy is a remaster, in quotations, remaster of the arcade Gauntlet series. Because the Gauntlet arcade machine was basically big thing with 4 joysticks and buttons, so you could play on it. They just remastered it.
Did you ever see the X-Men tables?
Yeah, they're kind of like that, like the X-Men tables.
It was a big table with the screen inside the table, and you would look down on it and then play with the arcade stick and mash the buttons.
Well, not like that,
I've seen
but
those.
It had the TV up front, basically.
Oh, so you were saying like it was a regular arcade?
Yeah, it was like how we have like TMNT. It was like TMNT.
TMNT also had a table.
Did it have a table?
Yeah, there was a table version, I believe.
Yeah,
But I
I
think
played
those
on one
you
of
paid
those.
extra, but they're more comfortable to play on.
I
Yeah.
played like Space
I feel
Invader on one of those.
I feel like the more comfortable ones are the ones that have the screen, because I feel like if you have to go and look over like that.
Yeah, but you could sit in a stool and look over and play it.
Like,
There was a real quick sidestep. There was a restaurant at some point that had that you could eat on the arcade tables and then also play. You could like sit there and then like you could eat at like Pac-Man table and then play Pac-Man as you waited.
Yeah,
for your
they
food.
had a Space Invaders table.
Yeah. But that's beside the point. But that's we played Dark Legacy, which is the remaster version of Gauntlet that was on arcade cabinets, and basically it switched a couple things over and revamped the graphics a little bit. But I don't know if it's so close together in the arcade version, but like it doesn't feel super close until like you get in like some levels feel really small, but like the hub area is like just
We were playing it on my 40-inch TV
Big.
too, so like it's not like it was small screen space. We had a big TV.
yeah. Like I said, I don't know why it's like that, and it's
It just
really
feels
weird,
really cramped on the GameCube.
but I think you could comfortably play with.
if you like
It
it,
could be a GameCube thing. I don't know.
if you like it, there is a ton to do. If you like it, there's a lot of stages.
It's
And
fun,
there's
yeah.
secrets
There's
stuff too. They,
5 or 6. I can't remember. I think it's 5 or 6 stages. Or no, it's 5 stages and then boss for each area. Is what it is.
Hello? Did we ever do a boss fight?
No, we didn't.
No.
That's what I wanted us to get to was the boss fights because that's where it really expands out. But we didn't get to it. We were close to the one. We were getting close. I think we beat the 3rd stage and we were doing the 4th stage and we were. And you were like, let's
Yeah,
go
I
more
was
stream.
I was getting frustrated mostly because of the character collision. Like everyone was yelling at me that I was in the way, and like it was hard to deal with.
And then, yeah. But we got. I played. That's basically what it is throughout. Like the levels just get more like a little bit harder and like chock full of more traps and stuff as the game progresses. I don't know. I've never beaten it. The most I've gotten to was the dragon fight, and then that was it. That was in my childhood. And then when I recently played, like a while back, I think when we got it for the Xbox original,
Oh yeah, we do have it on the Xbox original.
I got to the zombie general dude.
I think it would play really well on the Xbox original because the Xbox original had better hardware.
It probably did. I don't
No,
know.
did
I
feel,
know for a
like,
fact
really
it
laggy
did.
when
It
we were
came
playing.
it came in late to the cycle. It came out after the PS2 had been out for years at that
That's
point.
right. Yeah.
It had way less games, but it had way better hardware. It was kind of like a home PC in terms of power at the time.
Well,
Doom 3 was really good on it
what
too.
did everybody else think? What did y'all think about it? Considering, there's not much to talk about with story or anything like that, and sound design is pretty fun. It has its good tracks and stuff like that.
I like the design of everything. I like the character design wise. Like they're goofy looking. Like you have like the wizard, or is it the wizard? Which character is the wizard?
There was a lot of characters, a lot of classes too. There was a girl version for each of the classes, and then there was like 10 classes.
Yeah,
Funnily enough, there isn't a girl version for the
dwarf.
the jokester and the dwarf. Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know why.
You can't make a girl version of the dwarf without injecting a bunch of other problems that people have. Like a lot of people insist that female dwarves have beards too.
They do.
I don't know. I think it's just at the time that something like that wasn't a thought process. Like it's just it's Midway as well. So whatever their thought process is,
Midway is a company that doesn't really get talked about very much. They don't do a whole lot.
They haven't done anything. I think they're.
I thought they were.
I'm pretty sure the last thing they did as a full thing was on PS2 stuff, and that was it.
Hey, fact boy, check out what Midway's been doing.
Me?
Yeah, you're fact boy because you googled something a minute ago. You're fact boy.
Oh, okay. Midway.
Yeah, the game company. See what they're up to now. See if they've released anything in the past 10 years. But yeah, I think the game it's one of those things where it's like just because it's 4 players doesn't mean you should do it 4 players. And my thought is that it's good, and I can see why a lot of people liked it back then. But there are a lot of games that have come out since that do the same thing but better.
I would love to see a full video of people playing Gauntlet on the arcade cabinet and seeing how they play.
Yeah, I'd like to see what the arcade.
Because,
How the hell would that work?
Well, I mean, it's the whole arcade cabinet is how it is it's a big arcade cabinet. Like it's huge. It's like the size of like it's hard to compare it to.
Is it like the size of like the light gun ones? Because those are pretty big.
I mean, yeah, essentially. Like it's pretty much that. But like I think how they designed it was TV, and then it goes down, and then there's a platform to keep everything stable, and then it comes up, and then there's the control sticks and the joysticks and buttons on the thing right there, so you can like rest and play like that while
Gotcha.
you're looking at the TV. I think that's how it was designed. I think that's how I remember it.
I think it was one of those things where it's like it was a massive thing and it wasn't going to be available everywhere, so a lot of people wanted it at home because it wasn't
made more
available
sense.
everywhere. And yeah, and it made more sense being a 4-player game, and it was probably expensive for them to produce.
Probably. Like I said, I would love to see how people played on the arcade cabinets. Is what I would like to see, because again, Gauntlet Dark Legacy is a remixed version of the arcade game.
All right, Rook, did you find anything on Midway?
Yeah, they went bankrupt and defunct in 2010.
Yeah.
So
Okay, yeah.
PS2 era.
That's why we haven't heard much from them, because really all they had was Gauntlet.
It looks like their last game was in 2009 called Wheelman.
Never heard of it.
Never.
It was
heard of
on Windows, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360.
I'm guessing it was a driving game. They did a lot of driving games, I think.
They
That
did
was
do.
common in arcades, though. Like a
Vin
lot of
Diesel's
arcade games are
Wheelman.
driving.
Oh.
Oh my
Yep.
god, that's kind of cringe.
Okay. Well, here's the issue, though, is that Midway did a lot of arcade games. Like, I think Midway published, helped get out Mortal Kombat. I'm pretty sure Mortal Kombat is a Midway game.
It's an open world game.
Wheelman's an open world game.
That's weird.
Okay,
A
yeah,
game set in an open world environment modeled after Barcelona.
Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see why no one was really talking about it. It's a racing game for one, and it's Vin Diesel racing game.
It's not racing, it's action. It's an action game.
It's an action game,
It's an action game,
not a racing game.
not
Well,
racing.
we own a piece of Midway.
Yeah, we own Midway treasures.
We own a piece of Midway history. We own Midway.
I recognize maybe 5 of these games. Spy Hunter, Defender 1 and 2, I know those ones. Gauntlet, we know those ones. Joust 1 and 2, I know that one. Paperboy, Rampage, Robotron, Smash TV. Actually, I know a lot more of these than I thought I did. Bubbles, Road Blasters, Blaster, Rampart, Sinistar, Super Sprint, Marble Madness, 720 Degrees.
Sinistar is on a Angry Video Game Nerd episode. I
Tubin,
think.
Clax, Splat, Satan's Hollow, Vindicators, and Root Beer Tapper. Okay, so yeah, like when you think arcade games, Midway is a lot of arcade games.
Yeah.
The game, apparently, Wheelman is 31 missions. Most of them are driving, but a lot of them are walking and you're playing in third person. That was their last game ever.
Well, I mean, if anything, if you don't know Midway for like the arcade Mortal Kombat's, they didn't do the more modern Mortal Kombat. They did Rampage.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Rampage is one of those games where it's like people talk about it, but I haven't played it.
Yeah,
And Killer Instinct.
I played Rampage.
Oh, yeah, Killer Instinct. I know that one, but it was free on Xbox.
I played Rampage on like Wii though, so.
And then there's Quake.
They had a Rampage version on Wii?
Yeah, at least I think it was Wii.
That would be so weird to like have a weird niche
That
arcade
sounds
game.
like it would use waggle physics.
They also made
Fucking wiggle to
Carnival.
punch the building, eat people. That's so weird.
What'd you say, Connie?
They made Carnival.
I recognize the name. I'm
It's
not
a-
thinking
Is
of a
that the
game.
light gun game? That's the light gun
Yes.
game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know it then.
I want to play that one too. There are so many light gun games that I really want to play.
It seems like it's just one of those companies like Namco where you're like, I don't know a single game they made, and then someone starts naming
And then
games,
you
and you're
just
like,
shit 'em out.
oh,
It's like,
yeah,
oh, they
I
did
know all of
that?
those. Okay, yeah.
They made
Oh, they did
Mortal
that?
Kombat Deadly Alliance.
That was one of the ones.
Those were
It had a
that's
created
one of the-
character.
That's the GameCube one,
Yeah.
yeah. Deadly Alliance was the one that you could run around as one of the.
It was an action RPG too, and
Yeah.
it was a created character one. And
that
it was
also
weird.
had the little silly mode where you matched bricks and started beating the shit out of people.
Oh, like Street Fighter Puzzle Turbo,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Anyway, let's wrap it up. We're hitting around the 35-minute mark. We're supposed to talk about 2 games in this one. So, final thoughts on the thing. Do you recommend it?
Well, what we didn't even.
I
What did everybody? No one got to say how they liked to, how they liked it or anything like that. What their thoughts were.
I said what my thoughts were. I talked plenty.
Well, you talked.
I
it out.
didn't.
Okay. All right,
Yeah,
your
I
turn,
didn't even
Rook.
get to talk at all, really.
Personally, I didn't feel like we played it enough for me to fully grasp it, but the parts we did play frustrated me to no end. Because
Yeah.
running into each other, while it's certainly a choice, it's
Well, you
not
should
a
probably-
good choice.
It feels like someone didn't play it for a long session.
Let's explain the frustration is that when you run into each other in this game, you trip the character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you go, ugh.
You trip and you can't do anything other than go and do the animation.
Yeah,
which is- I don't
it's
know
annoying.
why they put that in, but it's funny as fuck.
And also,
did that.
It feels like a competitive game disguised as a cooperative game.
Yeah. It's like you're competing for high scores.
I don't know. It's such a weird series because like the only one I ever played, I played a little bit of the Atari one, but the Atari one is ball-bustingly difficult. Like it is stupidly hard because like some levels are literally just like you can't do anything until you move along a certain path, and then shit is just being thrown at you. Like you're just dying instantly over and over again.
yeah. And then enemies being able to hit you from off of screen is like, why?
To be
Why
fair,
is that
most-
a thing?
To be fair, most Atari games are ass.
Yeah,
And-
but that one as an Atari game is pretty like if you think of Atari, you think of like E.T. and like other like, but that one was
I think bad
that one
arcade
actually had
ports-
graphics to it. Like you could see shit that wasn't like
I mean, look at that. Those are just all bad arcade ports.
whatever.
And then there's like the camera too, where you have to share it with it. Ooh,
You need water?
feels like something's stuck in my throat. Anyway, I think I'm losing my voice.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Holy shit! What I was gonna say. Oh my god!
God does not want you to talk.
Yeah, get
Whatever
it
right.
it is, keep it in.
Get her some water.
Oh my god. You just want... Well, she has her...
I have water. It's just every time I start talking, my voice just goes out.
Take a
But,
sip of water.
The camera, how it follows you, like one person, like it chooses like a person to follow around, and then if you're behind, you just get stuck behind and you can't
It
move
needs to
into.
do this zoom out thing that modern
Yeah.
games do
It kind
when
of
they walk apart.
It kind of does, but it kind of doesn't at the same time. Like it'll zoom out, but then like the camera will get stuck.
That was especially annoying, was like when you were walking, like if someone was walking too far ahead and like if you were like camera's favorite player, the camera would follow you and everybody else would get dragged along. There was like numerous times where like I would be stuck behind a hedge and we just couldn't progress forward because
someone kept moving.
So it's like it's somehow competitive, but also at the same time all the gears have to be working in unison for the game to function.
Well, yeah.
So everyone has to be moving together, but simultaneously it feels competitive.
I don't know why. Again, I don't know why, but I mean, it definitely requires like a lot of you to like sit down and be like, okay, we're gonna go this way.
Setting some like ground rules.
I also didn't like the menu system. Like, trying to
Select
get objects, select items. It was confusing. And then trying to figure out which one is which, and then what buttons to press in order to actually use it. Because we all had different controllers, right? So it was hard.
We all had different styles of controls.
And even like the items themselves, they don't exactly tell you what they do. They're just like, it just says what the item is.
Yeah, this thing. It's like you're just supposed to like imagine like, oh, this thing must do this thing. But it's like, then it does another thing and it's like, huh?
There's single-use items too, so it's like...
They carry over to the other stages and stuff like that. I mean, most of them are kind of like self-explanatory, like X-ray goggles and like turbo is like, you know, makes you faster and shoot faster and shit like that. And but some of them are just really weird. Yeah. For the people at home, that like, well, you've probably seen it if you're watching this on YouTube, which you should because gameplay accompanies it. If you're not watching this at home though, and you're like listening to it, the way the menu system works is like it's a standard arcade menu where 4 players are displayed on screen, each with a menu box that is about like a 9:16 screen, and then you have these little slivers. You only get the bottom half of that to select items with, and it was hard to instruct people on how the menus worked when everyone was using different controllers. Some of us were using Xbox controllers, some of us were using Switch controllers. And the menu is just, it was too small. Well, it also didn't help that we didn't know how to, for like the very first 2 stages, how to do any of that.
Yeah. That too. It doesn't tell you how to do it.
Like half the time I was bumbling around with the control to find out how to use the items.
It 100% feels like a port from an arcade game. Everything about it feels like just things that would exist in our arcade game to pump out those quarters. And
exactly.
It translates poorly over to home consoles where we don't play like that. Home console players don't play games like that. And the menu system is very much a relic of arcade menu systems.
Yeah. It's not... Like, see, I didn't grow up with arcades. So, it just kind of frustrated me, right? So I'm just kind of like, play at your own risk if you want to play it. Like y'all said, the art and the character design is very good. I especially enjoyed like the pictures for all the characters because they were all very unique and different. I really liked looking at that. I wasn't a big fan of how... Well, a lot of things. I wasn't a big fan of...
What's going on with Connie?
I don't know.
Kanny exploded.
Oh, what about the audio file?
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Hello?
Let's pause the audio files. Okay, yeah, there's a delay for Connie. Alright, so where were we? Rook, you said you were liking the art. We had to cut out for a minute because Connie got disconnected.
I like the art. That's it. The story...
That's it.
Okay, it's a little basic,
in my opinion,
it's a little basic, but...
It's very retro. It's very, very old. Very retro. Very old PC game. If you like old PC game style, like, it's got that. I think it's a big emulate. Like, I want to go out and buy this. I'd say emulate it if you can. Connie, any final thoughts?
I mean, I was having fun, even if we were arguing a little bit.
Yelling at each other.
It was kind of... It was really funny when you guys were
Yes!
yelling at me for
You
taking all the
greedy
gold.
little gremlin!
And I'm like, okay, you guys could have
Horrid
some.
creature.
And then there was like some of the Easter egg stuff that was fun. Like, remember the little
Oh
it
yeah,
sign that we
were
got?
running around playing
And
tag. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can play.
we were
tag.
playing tag, and the wizard dude would be like, "Green dwarf
That was
is
fun.
it."
That was fun.
Blue wizard.
Yeah, that's so
It was so
funny.
funny, and that was like really goofy. It
I
certainly
feel like
spiced.
that might
I've
have
never
been
played tag in a video
Yeah.
game.
the best part for me.
That was certainly a highlight.
Playing tag.
Yeah, that was probably the peak.
Who knows?
Like-
They could be. It could be like hot potato, but it could be like hot potato. But
Well, no,
you
like, you know how-
something
Oh,
like
that wouldn't be fun. I wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot potato, hot potato.
All right. Final thoughts from you, Maple?
I love it. It's a little gym. Honestly, it's a nice little gym. It's I think it's worth a play, but you know, don't play by yourself.
At least one other person.
No, definitely don't play by yourself. It's not a play by yourself game.
But like, yeah, I enjoy it. It's a gym. It's a part of my childhood. So I mean, I thoroughly enjoy it. It's got some hiccups when it comes to being, you know, an older game, but it's pretty nice. It's like it's not like anything crazy
Yeah.
or anything like that.
Oh,
Like
sorry.
I can't like not recommend it because it's not like, you know, something abhorrent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
The combat was very simplistic, but it was easy to just kind of pick up and just kind of fire and forget. And the
Yeah, it's good for pick up and play when everything.
And then it's also
literally
kinda
just
chaotic.
spammed my attack. My basic attack and my heavy attack. And I was just like, this'll do.
Yeah, and it's kind of a brainless game at times, which can be good on
Yep.
its own. All right, so Connie, do you recommend it?
I'd recommend it just as like, you know, just like an interesting, like, just kind of play and kind of forget. Or like if you like more chaotic games, like, you know, games where you can't really, you're like, what the fuck is going on screen? Where the fucking hell am I? All that kind of shit. I think it's fun as like a chaotic party game.
The background on my computer just changed on its own, and it freaked Mabel out.
No.
You don't have that happen on your Windows? Oh, okay, yeah, it changes the background every day to a different picture.
We have our set. We don't have it on
That's all
like
it is in the background.
Windows.
It's
Show
that
me
fucking
grandma
black bear.
mode.
Windows, show me grandma mode.
Next time I'll make sure to put like a.
Show me
Oh yeah.
I'll have it like with the two Nukis with the fat
yeah.
nut sacks.
Sarah, speaking of fucking grandmas, when are you gonna fucking cook me fucking my goddamn cookies, Grandma?
What cookies?
The cookies in the freezer?
Oh, the frozen cookies. Okay.
Uh,
All right.
I always
Rook,
say
do you
take
recommend it?
everyone else's opinion with a grain of salt.
Take everyone else's
And
opinion with salt.
well, I mean, like,
Everyone else's.
I mean,
Fuck off.
I
Mabel's
mean,
making
when
mean
someone gives you
faces
an
at Rook
opinion on
threateningly.
something, take it with a grain of salt, and I say experience it for yourself first.
And I say experience it for yourself.
That being said, no.
That being said, no.
I'd say it's a GameCube game or a PS2 game. If your computer can emulate it and you're willing to get the work done to make it work out, then yeah, go ahead and emulate it. I would say don't pay for it unless it's cheap and it's like you're not having to go out of your way to get it. If you've got friends to play it with locally, 100% try it out. It's really good if you like yelling at your friends. But if you, for some reason, can't emulate it, I would say pass on it. There's not really a reason to go out of your way to get it. There's lots of other games that are much more recent that are easier to get a hold of that are going to result in the same chaotic, crazy fun. If you've never played Castle Crashers, well, I'm glad you woke up out of your coma. But you should probably try Castle Crashers with friends. And it's a very similar experience. Alright. And Mabel? You know, we said we weren't going to do it for like an hour for one game, but this is pushing 50 minutes already. So go ahead and give us your thoughts on should they get it, should they play it?
What? I said
Yeah,
that
she
already.
did already.
With the me.
She was
Yeah,
the first
that's
one.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, on to the next game. The next game is
IQ or Intelligence Cube.
Intelligence Qube.
That's it. Intelligence Cube.
yeah
For
for a
PlayStation
name
1.
for a name like Intelligence Cube. It is such a bare bones game. They did the absolute bare minimum that you could, and it still be a game. So having a name like Intelligence Cube makes you think like, oh, it must be some kind of like esoteric kind of thing. It must be like some kind of weird game. And no, it's a game. It's the absolute bare minimum that you could do, and it'd still be called a game. So, describe what the point of the game is, Mabel. Is there a story?
No.
No, not really.
I don't know.
There
The
isn't.
story is
there's
how
not.
fucking stupid are you?
Yeah, but it's basically, it's a puzzler game that what you do is you're given a platform, and at the beginning of the game, it starts small, but the better you do, it gets longer and longer. So, like, if you mess up, you have more mess ups, because how it works is if you mess up, a portion of the platform gets deleted.
You're missing some stuff before getting to that.
Oh,
You're
fuck.
talking about lengthening the platform. How do you lengthen the platform?
But, okay.
How do you play
how
the
puzzles
puzzle?
function is that you are given a set of cubes that rise up from the ground on your platform, and you need to get rid of all of the gray ones to
You need to get rid of all of the cubes besides the black ones.
besides the black ones. Does it have to be the green ones?
Yeah, you had to get rid.
No,
of
you
the
don't
green
have to
ones.
You have to get rid of all of them.
Or wait, no. You
It's
They-
just
well, they
not
help.
the black ones.
You're supposed to get.
have to get everything
Yeah.
but the black ones. Everything but the black cubes.
Okay, so maybe
Okay.
maybe I should explain it then.
Well, no. It's just been again a little while, but yeah, okay. But all the gray, but I was getting to that. The green ones. Basically, you have to get rid of all the cubes to get a
Yes.
perfect. Missing
Or
any
hitting a black one.
results in a failure.
Or hitting a black one.
It results in a count against you.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily failure.
It's a count against you. You
It
get
removes platforms from your very.
It doesn't
limited
remove it.
field of play.
What it does is, at the end of a perfect, like, puzzle stage, it adds a platform onto your existing platform, so you have more room as the puzzle progresses.
You have to clear out all the cubes except the black ones. And so if you clear out all the cubes except the black ones, you get your platform lengthened based off of your
Yes.
performance.
you get a perfect. A perfect gives you a section.
And your
one
platform
section.
is effectively your health bar, because the less of your platform you have, the less space you have to work with, and the more likely it is that you're going
Yes.
to fail. It's like a timer that
It wants you to do
lengthen.
perfects,
Well,
is the thing, but if you fuck up, it gets harder as you fuck up.
So you're a little dude, you run around on the platform, like say your stage is 10 segments long, and then you've got a wall of blocks behind you that roll towards the edge of the stage. And as they roll, the little character is supposed to go up and highlight a section with their highlight button. And then when the block lands on it, they press the highlight button again, and it sets it off, kind of like a
You
like
capture
a-
the
A
block.
landmine.
like a bomb. You capture the block is what it says. Yeah, you put it under the block. You walk away. The block lands on it, and then you press the button, and that demolishes the block. You're supposed to do that with all of the blocks that roll at you in any given section, except for the black one. There's the regular ones, and then there's the green ones. And the green ones are kind of like a bomb. You activate them, and then they create this field that is a much
It's
larger
a 3 by
capture.
3,
It's
yep.
3 by 3. The drawback of it, though, is when you activate that one, it demolishes all blocks, even the black ones. And when you demolish black ones, those are treated very similarly as a failure, as if normal good blocks fell off the edge of the stage. So you're trying to clear out as many blocks as possible, with ideally getting as many perfects as you can. To beat the game, you need to play perfectly the entire way through. And once you do fail, and you completely fail, the game takes your score and it gives you an IQ score, intelligence quota score, because we all know how reliable the IQ score is. It was definitely not founded on racism. And, well, that's pretty much the whole game. You're trying to capture the blocks using your highlight power and making sure you don't get crushed or you don't get pushed off the edge of the stage.
Or you don't fall off by accident.
Yeah, or you don't fall off by accident, which does happen. because if you do, you lose. So if blocks fall off the edge that are good blocks, you lose a row of blocks. So your 10 goes from 10 to 9 to 8 to 7 with each block that falls
Also,
off.
Or
if you get
if
squished,
you get squished,
it
it's
automatically pushes every single block left off the stage,
Yeah.
and you also lose all those blocks.
So
Yeah.
that's the whole game. That's the entire game. It is, like I said, it is as bare bones as it can possibly get. It cannot be any
It's
less
very
game.
intimidating and also very
Yes.
what's the word, like, it's atmospheric horror almost.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. Like, it puts a lot of pressure on you, and you have this time limit, and the time limit is the stage, and you feel very under pressure the whole time, and it's uncomfortable, unsettling.
And the announcer has like this booming voice, and you're basically in a big,
Perfect.
Yeah,
You're in
it's
like
just
a
black
void. And all you can see is just the only thing you can see is your character, and then the cubes.
Yeah, if it was any less game, it would just be that black screen.
Oh, I'm also pretty sure that a fall off is an instant game
it?
over. I'm pretty sure. Yes, I'm pretty sure a fall off is an instant game over.
Honestly, it kind of has the vibes of like an urban horror kind of game where it's like little Timmy died playing this, and then someone put it up on their YouTube channel and they made the game themselves, because it definitely feels like a
Been
game.
IQ'd. No.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a game that was made in a weekend.
It has a good ambience as well. I'll say and the music is pretty like it puts you in a mood.
It's a waste of plastic. It shouldn't have been put on a disc. If this,
Oh,
this could have very easily have been a Flash game.
Oh.
I think it's a waste of plastic. I'm sorry. It's a fun puzzle, but it shouldn't be a main game. It shouldn't be a $60 title or however much it was. It should have been a bonus mode on a different game. It did not deserve its own disc.
oh.
Oh.
Mabel is so shocked.
Honestly, yeah,
at
it
what I
probably
said.
could have. Probably would have thrived better.
She's
if
so
it were
shocked
like
that I said it.
Probably would have thrived better.
The max
It
playtime is
probably would
4
have thrived
hours.
better
That-
if it
that's
were
how long it
like
takes to
part
beat
of
it.
a bunch of games that were like
a bunch of games
ones where it's like I can't justify paying like $50 for that, but like a bunch of games, yeah, I can.
But like a bunch of games, yeah, I can.
If I spent $50 on that game, I would have been pissed.
I think it wasn't $50.
I would have asked
How
her-
much was it at the time of
Time of
release?
sale, yeah.
Oh man. Oh,
I don't know. Backboy, check.
Here, I could look.
You can Google the name of the game plus Wikipedia, and Wikipedia should have a section for what its retail price was.
Oh, keep talking, keep talking.
Keep talking, keep talking.
Well, I think it was fun for the short burst that I played it, but I can't see myself returning to it, and also I don't think it has enough depth that it would be interesting for most people.
I will say this: could you imagine my little face and how I perceived this game when I first put this into my PlayStation 1 and booted it up and started playing? What do you think? What do you think
Either you were
I did.
scared or you thought it was garbage.
It's scary.
I was fucking horrified.
It's kind of spooky, yeah.
I was horrified. I was so nervous when I was playing the game that I would fuck up so many times.
It has a really good way of putting a lot of pressure on you and making you scared that you're gonna mess up or causing you to mess up.
Doesn't say how much it was sold.
Yeah, I can't find any prices on it.
Which means it was anywhere
It was
between 20 and
released
60.
in '97. So, however much games were in '97.
However much games were.
Well, I don't think it was worth 20. I think nowadays, if this was released on
Yeah.
Steam, you would probably pay $5 to $10 for
Yeah.
it. She just murmured, "Perfect."
Perfect. Try again. Yeah, he does that too if you fuck up a stage.
Yeah.
I'm too dumb for this game.
It's intimidating. That's the word I was looking for.
I'm either not right-brained or left-brained enough.
Either not right
To play this game.
To play this game.
I mean, I could have probably beaten it if
It
I
made me
wanted
real
to,
stupid.
but I really don't want to play it that long.
Oh God, no!
The world's
You
perfect
kill
drinking
me.
game.
God no. Kill me.
And so it'd be
You would
so
kill
boring.
me.
The game is boring.
Kill me.
Apparently, this game has sequels.
You could have left that out. I don't want to have
What
to
are
play
they?
the sequels.
Intelligent tube or whatever? Like what?
Intelligence.
Intelligence tube.
Intelligence tube.
It had a couple different
And it's a
names.
tube
It
spelled
had
TW.
IQ Final. It had Kurushi Final. And then in Europe, it was called
Yeah,
Mental
it made
Blocks.
me go mental with how fucking hard it was. Damn.
What's the sequels? What are they called?
IQ Mania for the PlayStation Portable.
For the PSP, huh?
Maybe it might have been a re-release.
There's
Yeah.
IQ Remix.
Maybe you'd be able to find the price for the PSP one, and then we could go off of that, so we have a rough
Maybe.
idea. But it feels like the kind of game that wasn't finished, and that it was put on another game's disc as a secret bonus
secret
mode.
mini game.
Yeah, a secret mini game, and that's probably what it should have been.
She's closing.
Because that's what it
I do not
feels
hear.
like.
I do not see.
Like the Ape Escape mode in Metal Gear Solid.
Hmm?
Like Ape Escape when they put it in Metal Gear Solid.
That was a part of the. That was a part of the fucking. Oh, I can't remember it. I can't remember the weird ass name that they had. It was for a special edition of Metal Gear Solid 3. I think it's called Substance.
Kojima
Yeah,
was on
Substance.
substances when he made it. It's,
Y'all got
if you
anything
like
else you got to
puzzle
say about the game?
games and you enjoy like
You like puzzle games,
weird,
enjoy, like,
ominous like
weird,
scenery and
ominous
vibes and atmosphere
scenery
for
and
games,
vibes and
you'll like
atmosphere
IQ.
for games. You'll
Cube,
like
IQ, intelligence, whatever. You know what I mean.
intelligence, whatever. You know what it means.
Emulate, don't buy.
If your autism is out of the world, I'm guaranteeing that one of y'all will probably end up putting your fucking ringtone or like text message ringtone as perfect, because it's honestly, it's such a good audio
Just
cue.
look at the screen thus far. Like you're watching this on YouTube, so just look at this. That's the entire game. If you look at that and you go like, "This is the greatest game of all time," whatever, go buy it, do it. But if you're looking at this, like, you either love this idea or you absolutely hate it. And the people who love it is like 5 people, and Mabel is 3 of them.
What are you saying? I'm plural.
No, I'm saying you're making multiple accounts online and
Actually,
you're
IQ
glazing
is
up
the best game
IQ.
ever.
It is perfect. I mean, I think it's perfect for what it is, in the way of like being this weird, like not ambiotic. What the fuck am I talking about? This weird, like avant-garde puzzle game.
Art game. Wow, for an art game, it's
I
lacking
wouldn't really
a whole lot
call it
of
art.
Art.
I kind of just call it like
everything.
someone was just like, "Hey,
It's-
what if we did this?" And someone else was like,
Someone was just like, hey, what if
"Yeah,
we
that's
did
cool.
this?" And someone else
Go
was
ahead."
like, yeah, that's cool. Go ahead.
I think
Yes,
it's.
yes.
I think
it
it's
was. It,
Japanese.
released in
origin
Japan
anyways.
first.
Released in Japan.
It feels like an arcade game.
a little, yeah.
It feels like an arcade game.
a little, yeah.
I don't think it is an arcade game. I think it's just a part of that PS1 weird era where they were just like, I mean, like, think about Poi Poi. Like, we played Poi Poi and like,
But
it's
Poi
just,
Poi was a developed, polished, finished concept.
yeah, but it's also super weird. Like, are
But
you
it
gonna
was-
tell
yeah,
me
it's
that you're
weird.
gonna pay full price for something like that? And
I would
then-
be much more likely to pay full price for Poi Poi than IQ.
I find that. And you just spit like a whole bunch of bullshit.
Apparently,
on
you
my
could
face,
buy
and it stinks.
Intelligence Cube on the PlayStation Store currently, and it's $10.
Ooh, baby!
$10 is not bad.
Oh, Sarah's eating it now. She's eating her fucking fat
$10
little turd words.
Hey, if it was $10
Probably
on a
cool.
disc, which I doubt, go crazy. But I know for a fact that PlayStation 4 discs, they have a $25 licensing fee to Sony. I'm guessing the licensing fee is probably not that different for a PlayStation 2 game. So I'm guessing that it didn't go
PlayStation
for
1.
10. PlayStation 1, whatever. I'm still guessing that it's not $10 on PlayStation 1. I'm guessing it went for at least
I
40.
don't know what she's talking about. She said it was a PlayStation 2 game. You think that fucking game is a PlayStation 2 game? You're out of your goddamn mind.
Alright. So yeah, Rook already gave whether buy it or not. I said emulate it, but make sure you look at it first.
Buy it or not, you're acting like fucking you could just walk into games.
Well-
Yes, good sir. Could you hand me the intelligence cube
Well,
in the
not
back of the
for
fucking
us.
freezer that you have back there?
Not for us, but of course there are places where people could get it physical.
And
I'm
also
just
Kanny
saying
just said
it's not
we could
worth the
buy it
shelf
off
space.
network for $10. So
Network for $10. So.
Yeah, there's digital versions.
Okay, but
No,
the network
not
is
physical,
different.
but
like,
we're
that's
still
not like
buying
a
it.
physical edition, and I don't think anybody had.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not worth paying for. Connie, what do you think?
I like it. I like its atmosphere. I like the puzzles do make me feel really fucking stupid. Cause like, and this is coming from someone who actually plays puzzle games.
They're not challenging puzzles. You know exactly what you're supposed to do. It's more reaction based.
Yeah, there is a reaction element to it, especially as the puzzles go on, and then also the camera angle does kind of fuck you up a little bit
the camera angle's
because
fucking
you
terrible.
can't see exactly where your 3x3 grid is, like, aimed on. And so you might accidentally grab some of the black blocks when you're trying to grab all the white, like, other blocks.
Well, it's also timing based because
There is a time base to it, and then also
and you can speed them up
Yeah.
too. So like if you fat finger,
I fat finger the speed up button
done
so
that.
many times that like I was so frustrated. I got to stage 3, mind you, and like it got harder, like way harder.
When I got to stage 3, I was like, okay, I played this enough. And then I held the fast forward button.
The thing is if you get far enough, your platforms that you've earned get snatched
Really?
away. Mm-hmm. Once it starts advancing enough that you have to
I-
earn more platforms again.
played
I'm
maybe
pretty
30
sure.
minutes.
Alright.
You know how far I got?
Played maybe 30 minutes. You know,
I didn't get past stage 1, baby!
How far?
Nope.
One, baby!
Nope.
Past
This one
stage
was
1?
easy though.
Yup.
Did you play the tutorial?
I don't know. When we were trying to get you to play it, you were like very hesitant to
'Cause
like
it
touch
looked-
it at all.
Weird.
You kept asking other people to play it for you.
It doesn't look
Oh.
good. It really doesn't look good.
Here's another little fun fact. If you go to the very end of your platform where the cubes spawn, if you sit there and wait for them to come up, it pushes you back.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
noticed
I
that.
It'll
did-
make
I
you
did
tumble
that.
backwards. It's kind of
And I
funny.
was like, huh,
It's a
that's
cute
funny.
little
Uh,
touch to that.
other than that,
Alright.
it just made me feel fucking stupid.
I was looking around.
It just
Final
made me feel
thoughts.
fucking
Oh.
stupid.
I was looking around. It
Yeah,
said
I think all of us agree that it just made us
I
feel
was looking
stupid.
around, and it did say that it was also a demo disc with some games or with the system. So it's very possible it could have been like
As like a demo, yeah, probably.
You didn't buy it, you just
Yeah.
got it at some point.
as like a way to demonstrate the polygons essentially.
I think this podcast episode is a larger file size than that game was,
Yeah, it definitely was.
just based on the audio.
And you know what that
Oh,
says?
that era,
We should
yeah.
really go back to that era because I'm tired of this fucking 120 gigabyte shit.
I agree. No game needs to be above 50 gigs.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's my fucking thing. At this point, when we start getting fucking games on PC, companies are just making me fucking buy a zip bomb for my goddamn computer. That's a zip bomb you just sold me. 120 gigabytes for a game. That's a zip bomb.
Or like in my case where Helldivers 2 comes out, it runs just fine, and then they decide to update it to make more enemies spawn, and now my computer just
It
can't
gets
play
more
the
and
game.
more unstable with every
So
update.
I spent it was $60?
We spent like 40, I think, or something
Yeah.
like that.
Regardless, I spent money on a game that I now can't play because they decided later that the game needed to have more enemies. So it's like, yeah, it's Helldivers 2 didn't need to be that realistic. No games need to be hyper realistic. No game needs to be above 50 gigabytes. Yeah. But your final thoughts, Mabel?
My final thoughts is it is a wonderful little. It's another wonderful little experience. I think you should experience it at some point.
All right. And with that, that is the end of Experience Shared episode 6, I think. 5th game.
Perfect.
It's gonna
the
be
next
Ham
game is gonna
Taro.
be
Ham
Rook.
Hams
What is the next
Unite.
game gonna be?
My game.
Taro, Ham Hams Unite. My
For Game Boy Color.
For what
the very
console?
first Hamtaro game.
Game Boy Color. Very first Ham.
I need to like touch it at some point. I keep forgetting. I get
Yeah.
distracted.
I keep getting distracted because I want to make sure I record it. But
Yeah, you
you
don't
said you recorded the whole game, so now I don't feel like I have to record it.
Did anybody record anything for Intelligence Cube?
I did. I did.
And
Gauntlet, we got the stream, so I can
Okay.
just download the stream.
Okay.
But yeah, so next game is Hamtaro Ham Hams Unite for the Game Boy Color. It is an adventure game that is also kind of a point and click kind of thing, but rather than point and click, you're unlocking words
It's like a
that allow
puzzle
you to
game.
interact with the world and cause interactions. It's actually
We're not. You can't.
a very clever game.
Talk.
Sarah,
Hip hip.
you know what? I want to hip you.
You want a hiff hiff? Here, take a whiff.
For those who don't know, hip hip means smell in Hamtaro language.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gopey.
There's also Go-P, where Hamtaro just
Nope.
turns around, whips
He
his
just-
shit out and
he just
pisses.
stands there
Not,
and
not
pisses.
even kidding.
He just
Not
sits
kidding.
there.
His little ham dick out and just.
Whips his little hand.
Little ham dick out.
He whips,
Ah.
putting out
Little
fires.
ham
yeah.
hog.
Okay.
Aw.
All right. So Mabel, you want to read off the Patreon list like you did last
I
time?
sure will, but this time I actually have a list.
Yeah, you actually have a list in front of you, which helps.
All right. Thanks to Patreons like you, you can help make more Experience Shared. Thanks to Firework Penguin. Holy shit, that's a long ass name. All right.
Do you need me to zoom in?
Yeah, a little bit. I have bad eyes. All right. Thanks to Firework Penguin. Monetary Unicorn.
Momentary.
Momentary Unicorn? Aw. I'm so sorry. Momentary Unicorn. Aurora the Puppy Moth. Fucking shorten your name, please.
That's just Sly.
Sly. Nat. Selena. Selena. I'm sorry. I had to do it. Maris.
Marius.
Marius.
You read that one last time.
Yeenie.
Don't forget the period.
Period. Dot. Worm syrup. Radiant.
Radiante.
Right fucking ass, you dickhead. Why would you do that? Radiante. Rask Wendigo. Ver. Wild Kitty 69. That's gotta be Kidder. There ain't no way. Beef. Bait. Sly again. Colorado Blue. Vader-san. And Linky.
Don't forget YouTube members. We gotta do YouTube members.
And thanks to the YouTube members for being here for us.
Oh wait, the YouTube
Might as
members are
well.
for a different channel though. Should I even bother?
Might as well.
They still support like, our channel and stuff, no matter what.
Our channel and stuff. Or like.
Thanks to the little members like Splapjack and Sushion.
And one more.
And one more.
Malding Brick.
Malding Brick. Where is he at?
He's not on any of
Yeah.
the Patreon
Where's
lists
our-
because he's donated directly to us
Oh, yeah.
to get me a new graphics
Our
Our
processor.
Sugar
sugar
daddy.
daddy molding.
Our little Kiwi sugar daddy. Wow. I
I'm
love
sure
him
they'll
so
love
much.
that.
I'm sure he'll love that.
Oh, let's do something fun. Let's read one of the
yeah.
comments from the previous one.
Oh,
I can't
damn.
read,
Sucks for you.
Oh, sucks for you.
which is weird because I'm a substitute
Oh,
teacher.
no.
Thanks, Daddy Malding, for helping us out.
No.
Is that which one am I supposed to mean?
Let me see.
Oh, is that one?
Oh yeah, this is in response to you reading the Patreon last time from memory.
Oh.
So pick whichever one you want. Don't read the name out because the names are sometimes their real names.
Sly. I'm pretty sure that's Sly because it's the
Yeah.
same image. But the outro had me getting like, Christ, I'm gonna kill myself. Grinning like a fool. Really good episode. Overall, cheerful little man. I probably shouldn't say that. He probably might have a high complex or something like that. I don't know. What do you mean that was the worst outro?
JM, I can't remember their full name. JM Luxro said, "What do you mean that was the worst outro? That was the best part of the video. XD. All natural, real-time zaniness is always fun. Also, next time you're using an emulator, please make sure to hide your cursor. Having the cursor in the middle of the screen through the whole gameplay footage made my OCD brain itch, even if most of it wasn't really
That
meant to
was
be
mine.
watched." Yeah,
I
that was
don't
Connie's
really.
gameplay, and she left the mouse on screen. She didn't know that her mouse was showing.
For shame. Alright, what's the
That's it. That's just me.
And
All right. Yep.
Yeah.
See
We get
y'all
no
later.
Comments. Comment more. Be like,
Yeah, comment more so Mabel has
If
more
you
things to
get
struggle
through this
with.
Feature your
entire
comment in
episode,
the next episode.
type in
Feature your comment in the next episode.
Yeah.
Croc Yazzoing on dick or something. I don't know.
I yazzo on my boy's dick to this.
I yazzo on my boy till I. Oh, what the fuck are the little things from? Gobos. I yazzo on my boy's dick till he
I
gobbo. There we go.
Gauntlet until she
Perfect.
There you
dark
go, comments
legacies.
Alright. Everybody can stop their recordings now.